Hey, hey. Sorry I am late. Woo. We have tests coming up this Friday, and we are getting ourselves ready for tests this Friday. So I had to go a little longer. What's going on with my hair? It seems weird right there. My hair seems weird right there. Hey, Arturo, good morning. Karen, Lady T, Patrick, Barbara, Sizzling, Tanya, Anand, good morning, all. Good morning, good morning. Let's go see what the market is doing right away. Share screen. There we go. Let's go see what the market is doing right away. Looks like my phone, so I can make sure. I got some stuff on my chart now because as a result of our class this weekend, I have some stuff on my chart, so it's a little more to look at now. No, I don't want you here. Okay. Okay, let's go here. Let's go here. Go to my YouTube channel. That way I can see me. See that we're live. We're live, darling. Okay, there we go. Mr. Earl and Adrian, good morning. Okay, so this is what SPX is doing so far. Let's look at a 5-minute chart. We're actually about 9 minutes into the market, but let's look at that 5-minute chart. First candle here, this green one. Second candle is this buddy here. We're currently at 48.94 is our current candle. I want us to, I'm going to change these numbers for Adam because we have new numbers, okay? Approximately 48.78 to 49.05 because there's a 10-point gap, sorry, 20-point gap between SPX and what's his name now? Let me change this back to these. There we go. Adjusted it for yesterday's thing. Back to the 49.05 resistance. Oh, that's way too big though. I don't want that size. We like the 14. I think the 14 or the 12, one or the other. 49.05 resistance. I'll read this whole thing to you as I finish these numbers. Zero change. This is 48, 94, comma, 48.84 to 78 is support. You can see what I'm doing. You can read along for sure. 49.05 goes there. 49.15 plus goes there. And 48.78. 48.78? Yeah, 48.78 goes there. Okay, because it was 48.98. There we go. His first message from this morning was down here, approximately 49.05. Now, what the one way, I mean, of course, we can hang out with us and we'll do it here, but you have to look at the SPX 500 before the market opens and look at the ES before the market opens, and then you can check the gap between the two, and then you can look at his numbers and do the subtraction. Of course, it's easier if somebody else does it for you because, hey, I like it that way too. I think I've covered all the numbers now. Okay, so I'm going to read his original statement and then I'll read his current one. He said, closing update January 26th, which was a few days ago actually. Target hit rejected the ninth time. Next week, we have FOMC to take us out of range. We should see a trend. Last FOMC, we saw 90-point one-day squeeze. The bulls must hold 48.87, 48.78 to keep the break up. Newsletter will soon talk triggers. Da da da. This morning, though, as posted, we have now been stuck in the same 48 to 78 to 49.05 range since Wednesday, making the round trip 4 times with 9 tests of the 49.05 resistance. We did it again overnight, 100% chop inside of this. The plan today, zero change, 48.94, 48.84 to 78 is support. Keeps 49.05, 49.15 plus alive. Shorts only if 48.78 fails. Okay, if 48.78 fails. Let me put some, I want to put an XSP in here. Ay, ay, ay. There we go. XSP, the highest I think he went was 492, and the lowest I see was 487. Sorry, 487 is on the put side. Okay. Nope. 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 Come on. Now I can. Something else has picked up. Come on. People are waiting on us. Okay, turn this off. That way you can quit. There we are. Okay. SPX still looking at our candles. We got a little climb happening for this morning. 48.95. A little bit on the climb. Let's look at our other things. The VIX is at 1391 this morning. How can you check what the difference between ES and XP is at what time? I check. I didn't even see that question when I asked you, but when I answered it. But I get up, and you can do it at any time, to be honest, Anand, because you're checking to see what's the difference between ES and SPX. I go to TradingView and I do SPX 500. I think there is an SPX 500 on Thinkorswim, but I don't know where it is. So SPX 500, I look at that, and then I change this to a duplicate thing, and the ES is over here. This is ES, and this is SPX 500. And then I compare the current price of those two. I try to put them on the same time frame, but I compare the current price, and then that's how I find the difference between the two. And it can really be any time, because that gap will stay the same generally for the day. Of course, it changes throughout the day. So some days it'll stay the same for several days. Sometimes it's the same for several days, but I always check in the morning to make sure it hasn't changed, that I'm not thinking it's 30 when it's down to 20 now, like this what happened this morning. I want to make sure that we have what you need there. Okay, so the VIX, like I said, is at 1390. Thanks for asking. Good question. Big investing lesson in sloppy star earnings. Futures have muted start to earnings packed. We have earnings, huge earnings this week. What Wall Street expects the Feds to reveal about rate cuts, that's coming this week. As far as our pre-markets, European pre-markets is more red than green. The DAX, the CAC, the FTSE MIB are all red. Actually, the CAC is flat. It's zero. FTSE is up 0.06%, and so is Stocks 600. The U.S. pre-market, mostly green. Dow Jones Industrial up 0.4%, S&P up 0.14%, NASDAQ up 0.20%, Russell 2K down 0.07%, and the VIX is up 4.22%. Asia markets almost all green, with Shanghai being down 0.92%. Evergrande shares halt trading after Hong Kong court orders liquidation. Now, this is what we were talking not about a week or so ago about the time that that over the Thanksgiving where I lost so much money in a credit spread that was over a holiday weekend. Evergrande was the company, the real estate company that crashed over the Thanksgiving holiday a couple years back, and I ended up getting caught with that. Okay, so there's that. This is our calendar for the week. Today we only have the loan officer survey happening, but tomorrow we've got some red folders. Wednesday is, of course, the FOMC statement. It's happening on Wednesday. Keep this in mind as you're picking trades for the week. If you're picking some of the big boys for the week, then keep this in mind. But honestly, some of the big boys we're not doing this week because of earnings. We got some big boys happening this week, and we're not going to trade them because of earnings. Yes? Let me go and grab hold to that. going to remove this and we're going to go and grab us some slides. Go look at the earnings for this week. We got a lot of earnings scheduled for this week, right? SoFi did earnings this morning. We got to go look at that on the charts. See what SoFi did this morning for earnings. Phillips is here for today. There was this morning. After market today, let me make this bigger. It's not going to work right there. I need to see this better. Usually I take and make it bigger. That'll work. So the aftermarket today, we got Cliffs, Whirlpool, F5, Graco, Calix, Crane. Tomorrow morning, Pfizer, General Motors, UPS, JetBlue, A.O. Smith, Marathon. That's all tomorrow. HCA Healthcare. Tomorrow, aftermarket, AMD, boom, boom, boom. Microsoft, boom, 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 boom. Alphabet, boom, boom. That's Google. So those are three biggies, right? Those are three biggies because AMD is the other things that are in the same space with them are going to move to Microsoft. Things in the same space are going to move to Alphabet. Things are going to move to. Okay, just so you know, that's how that usually works. And Starbucks is here, Jupiter, Stryker, CP. Okay, Wednesday before market opens, we got Boeing, MasterCard, Phillips 66, UMC, NASDAQ is there, Tiva. Wednesday after market, Qualcomm, boom, boom, boom. Align, Aflac, Wolfspeed, MetLife. Thursday, we've got Altrua, Peloton, Merck, Sirius XM, Honeywell. Thursday after market closes, though, we got Amazon and we got Apple and Meta. Those are big ones for this week. Amazon, Apple, and Meta on Thursday after market closes. And then ExxonMobil, Chevron, AbbVie, Cigna, some of the Granger, those are all Friday. Those are all on Friday. I wanted to mention last week, 19 out of 20 profitable trades suggested last week. Yes. 95% success rate. Yes. We'll take it. We'll take it. We'll take it. The only one that wasn't profitable was United Airlines, which we talked about last week at this same time. We talked about not trading that one because they had earnings. They had earnings maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, I think it was. And I said, maybe don't trade that one till after earnings, but I had already done this graphic, so we didn't change the numbers. But I said, wait till after the earnings, then go decide on some new numbers. But 19 out of 20 of these trades from last week were profitable. All right, so if you traded anything on here, you should have made your monkeys. Some of them got close, but they still came out profitable. These are the ones for this week. This is what we have for this week. Got some cash secure puts. We got some credit spreads. This is not updated because let me change to the other one because I updated and took off the ones where that we have earnings this week and I didn't put it in that slide. But I definitely changed it because I didn't want anybody to be trading stuff that they shouldn't be trading. Add to the stage is there we go. Call credit spread. We got a bunch of them here. Put credit spreads. We got a bunch of them. I took off the things that have earnings this week because Amazon was on this list. Google was on the list. I think I had something else on the list that needed to be taken off. Oh, I took off XLK because it's with the tech and I didn't want it to get caught up in some of the AMD. XLK has AMD and those guys in it. I didn't want that to get breached as a result of those tech stocks moving for earnings. Okay. Can somebody please remind Boeing that a plane maker is supposed to make planes that work well? Yes, I think they know that. It's just they've been struggling. They've been on the struggle bus a little bit. Boeing. Oh, I used to work for Boeing. I worked for the Space Shuttle Division, but I worked for Boeing, not the airplane people. I got friends. I think I still have friends who work for Boeing. They left the aerospace part and went to the airplane side in Seattle. But I worked the space shuttle side when I was back in my day, back in my engineering days. Okay, so We went through a bunch of these on last night's call to see what we were of some interest in this area. But this is the new graphic, and I did put, if you're in any of my chats on Telegram, I did put it there. Speaking of which, I do have one Telegram chat where there seems to have been an invader and an intruder who has come in and started sending messages to a bunch of people who are in my Telegram. If First of all, I never ever offer to trade for anybody. I'm an educator, so that it goes against the very nature of who I am. First of all, I teach a person to fish. I'm never going to sign up to trade for anyone. It's just not going to happen. Okay. I don't want that kind of pressure on my life, first of all. So I'm not doing that. And so if you're getting any messages or whatever that are asking you to let me trade for you, so that way, windows are popping off mid-flight. Um, anyway, what if you have somebody who's calling you, telling you that it's me, that they're me, and they're saying they want to trade and do the 20% to me? That's not me. That's not me. I don't do that. I think we should learn how to trade for ourselves, so that way we can all grow together. You don't have to depend on me. That's why I don't really do the thing with call outs. I don't really do call outs because what happens if your person call out, you don't see it fast enough, they call out the exit, you don't see that fast enough. Again, it's another level of pressure. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Now, I will help walk us through trades, and I will help us to say, well, I think these strikes look like they're good. I do that list of potential trades every week, but I do that list on the weekend. So by the time the market opens again on Monday, I'm like, okay, make sure that you go and you check these numbers. Don't blindly enter these numbers on your own. Go and check these numbers with your own charting, which I've taught people to do, with your own technical analysis, which I'm still teaching people to do, finding your own probability out of the money. Where are you comfortable as a trader? Some people are more aggressive. I teach you all this stuff so that way you can pick your own strike and you're not depending on me. I might pick 70% probability out of the money, and you're like, I'm sticking with 80%, sis. I know this. So I don't want to take somebody with me into the danger zone when you don't want to go. You might not want to go there with me. Mm-mm. Windows popping off mid-flight. Let me find out. Security windows, but they did have, and then they didn't want to pay the people whose windows popped off. Like they gave them like $1,000, something like that. They gave them something small like that. Um, okay, that's where we are with that. Let's go back to the charts. See where we are on our charts. Entire screen. Go back to. We looked at our. Yeah, let's go look at SoFi. SoFi probably running because supposedly they had their first profitable quarter. We're at $9. SoFi's at $9. They did a little bit of a move because they were at 7. This is SoFi. Right, this was Friday close was down here at 7.62, and they're currently at the $9 range. Let's hope it can be sustained because SoFi needs to get on out the gate. Yes, so 1K would not cover therapy. I agree with that. It would not. Um, and I would need some therapy because I've been flying since I was a child. I mean, a little child. I flew. This is back when I was a little younger. They would put you on the plane. It didn't matter that you were young, but they'd put you on the plane with the stewardess, well, flight attendant now. And I would fly from Florida to Cleveland. I was a young child, like 7, 8, real little. And I would fly straight through flight from one place to the other. And my aunts would pick me up in Cleveland and meet us at the airport, and then I would hop back on the plane and fly back home when the summer was over. And I'm not afraid of flying because I've been flying a long time. But I wouldn't. But stuff falling apart midair is not something I've experienced. That's funny, Jamie, with the sound effects. You're such a mess. Okay, covered. Make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Let's look at some trades if we get the opportunity. I think we just gotta be sure that you're being quite careful with your trades this week, because that FOMC on Wednesday will cause issues. There are people who, when it's FOMC days or FOMC weeks, they don't trade. They just watch and let that be. And that's definitely a choice that all have. Watching is a strategy. Watching is a strategy. Okay. Let's see what we have for any trades for the week. See if I see anything that's of interest. We could look at Costco. I didn't say Costco didn't have earnings, right? XLC. Jamie, is that the one you told us about? XLC. I'm gonna look at XLB again. We can look at Walmart. We didn't look at Walmart yesterday. Let's look at Walmart, XLC, and XLB. The SoFi put credit spread now at 66.5. Now there's probably impossible premiums down there, impossible to get any money because it's in the $9 range. So you might want to rechart after this today settles down. Let the earnings call for SoFi settle down before you trade that. Okay, unless you're trading it as it's running, but I would wait till for a put credit spread. I'd wait till it settled down some today. We're gonna look at Walmart. We say XLB and XLC. Let me share my screen. Well, I think we passed it. We're gonna go back to SPX here in a minute too. Okay, this is what Walmart's got going. I said Walmart would be good as an iron condor, but it actually is climbing, so it may not be. Again, I always say don't enter an iron condor all at the same time. You don't enter both sides unless you're sure it's staying in a zone. But this has been in a zone for a minute. If you look at this, all this time has been in a zone. I changed this to red so y'all can see what I'm talking about. All of this has been in a zone. Zone went from 159 all the way up to currently 164. That's only 5 points. It's been in this 5 point zone for a while. It's still filling this big old gap. There's a big old gap back here. Well, I have a mouse now. I should probably just use it. I bought a mouse for the people who, like to give me life advice. They would know I bought a mouse. I'm laughing because they know what I'm talking about. But I appreciate the advice, really. I'm making a joke of it, but I do appreciate when y'all try to help me. So from this it's closing this gap here, and it's been closing it a bit. It may continue on to close this gap, but it's so that there is an upward trend going, right? So let's look at what would be a good support area here. I see support at, what's this, 160? I see support at 160. Right, from this big red candle from June 24th. It's currently at 164. I'm going to turn on, I'll start up my Thinkorswim. It'll take a minute to get going. Okay, that's what I see as support. So I probably would go with the put credit spread first and see what it does for the remainder of this week. Our graphic said that we would do put credit spread was 157, 160. It's a 2.5 spread. I'm going to do a video today on the cost to trade spreads. I'm going to do a video today on how much it costs to trade spreads, so people would have a good understanding of what it's going to cost them to be ready for our small account challenge that starts on February the 5th, which is next week, starting next week. Okay, if you're going to sign up for that, you might want to go ahead and get signed it up. But even 167, 170, there's some resistance up here, but because it's been trending up for a while, I would want to get above this, which would be above 167, 170 would be above this gap, above, above the top of the gap. That could possibly still work, but I would want to wait and see how this continued to do its thing. Okay, but as price is coming towards it, you're actually going to get pretty good premiums as price comes towards it. So that's Walmart. All right, so we're going to look at XLC. XLC is riding along the top of the Bollinger Band, which means it's probably going to try to come on back. It's probably, that would call this in a resistance area, but it's been going up pretty steady. Y'all see the trend? It's been trending upwards, but even in the trend, there's pullbacks. Even in the trend, up, back, it's at the top of, see how it's rolling along this Bollinger Band? I know the candles look small, but I want y'all to be able to see the trend, the overall look. Sometimes we can zero in too close, and then you miss the big picture. Okay, but this is up, hanging out up here. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing real quick so I can log into my Thinkorswim. Passenger 57. Where is he? We got a passenger 57 on here. If he's on the call. We have an air marshal, an ex-air marshal who hangs out with us in our trading community. I have so many questions for the air marshal. That was like a dream job of mine. I never was a police officer, but just somehow I wanted to be the air marshal. I don't know why. I thought it was some great job. I don't know why I thought that either. I don't know why I thought it would be a wonderful job. This would be great. I'm going to be the air marshal. Okay. Let's go back to here. We were looking at Walmart. Looking at Walmart, weren't we? To see what kind of put credit spreads we could do on Walmart. Nope, I want the single. We looked at, I think we said 160. 160 has an 89% probability out of the money. Actually, 162.5. There's a plus minus 2.6. So you could get in this 157.5, 160 is what I put on our chart now. It's only paying $9 for a 250 spread. Don't do that. Okay. You don't need to collect $9 and leverage 250. No, not worth that. But 160, 162 if you want to get closer, right, and you're comfortable getting in the 70%, then here you've got $32 credit for 160, 162.5. It's going to put you a little bit closer. It says that 162.5 is what you're looking at for support. Okay. 162.5. Where are we? Okay, that's a line here. 162.5 goes with this area here. It would go with this support area. There we go. These candles over here would play as support. And then if you look back over here, this is a zone. So you could actually use that for your confirmation. And I use the probability out of the money. Single 162.5 had a 72% probability out of the money. Okay, let's see what SoFi is doing price-wise. Right, if we want to go with a put credit spread on SoFi because it was still going up, we've got 8.5 as a 75% probability out of the money. They had a plus minus 0.9, takes us down to about 8. 8.5. Let's see what the money look like. 8.5 is paying $8. I'd want a couple more dollars. So what I would do here, if I like this strike, I would put me some more money in here, put in some more money, and then I would let it sit for the day and let it work. So if I like the trade and I like the strike, but I didn't like the money, I would adjust the strikes to get to what I did want. Not the strikes, adjust the money. Leave the strikes, but adjust the money to what I do want. And if it don't pick up, it just doesn't pick up. You leave it. XLC we talked about was in the sale zone area. So we were looking at above. We're doing a call credit spread, maybe probability out of the money, turn it back to single life. 79.80. XLC would probably be 79.80. Okay. Vertical. 79.80 is paying $20. 79.80 is paying $20. If you don't like that, you want to go up one more, go to 80.81. That's paying $15. That's not bad. 80.81 on XLC. They got a plus minus 2. So plus minus 2 puts you at 79. So if you get 80.81, you're beyond that anyway. You're beyond that. Let's put on us we talked about this weekend about how to use the Bollinger Bands. And if you use the Bollinger Bands and you get your strikes outside of those bands, then they're all studies. Then because we want to be out of the money. As sellers, we want to be out of the money, right? So you get your strikes out of the money and enjoy. I know y'all can't see that very good yet. Hold on. I'll make it bigger. Ah, yeah, yeah. Okay, give me this back. Bring this down. There we are. See, we're climbing. So you want to be careful when you're, but we're right. See how we're riding this Bollinger Band? Now we know we learned this weekend that none of these indicators stand alone. So you have the Bollinger Band, your chart, your support and resistance charting. If you're going to use MACD and RSI, or if you're going to use what are those things? Moving averages. You want to use things in conjunction, not one thing by itself. All right, let's go look at SPX. I don't jumped off SPX and our 15 minutes. It's a 15-minute candle. We can go see what they're doing over there. Come on, darling. There we go. See if we got a breakout happening. Not quite, but we got us a breakout. Doing our first 15-minute candle, the upper and lower boundary of the first 15-minute candle. And when we break out of that candle, that will be the direction. Our Bollinger Band, though, looks like it's kind of coming down and closing in. Shh. Volatility is shrinking. Volatility is shrinking here. Okay, we looked at XLC. I said we're going to look at one more. What did I say? Oh, XLB. Anybody have a stock they want us to look at? XLU. Okay, Tanya, we'll look at that one. Oh, there we go. There's my passenger 57. Good morning. All righty. XLB. Well, let's go to the daily chart. XLB is kind of hovering in a zone too. Got a lot of lines here. Got myself all confused. What's all this? They thick lines, so I want y'all to be able to see. But I'm like, these lines is too big. They is too big. There we go. I think this one is good though. There's a gap up above the 82 to 83. There's a gap, and we've hit that resistance again, and it's coming back down. So we've got a trend going. Got this trend line going. Got a trend happening here. So I would still say we're still going down with XLB. Right? Let's go see what we can do. A call credit spread. Did I put it on the call credit spread list? It needs to be. XLP's on the put credit spread list. Let's go look at both sides. Going back to the chart. Oh, I also see support here though. So that may be why I put it there too. There's some support at 81. And we've been in the zone for the last 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 days, 9, 10 days. Let's see what the call credit spread looks like. We want to enter the side that with the trend first. Call credit spread, I see 83.5 as our top. 83.5 is paying $10 for a 50-cent spread. 50-cent spread paying $10. That's a 20% return on your monies. Okay, that's 83.5. And if we were looking below, watch out below. I would go with 80.5, 81. Go down with 81. Yep. 80.5, 81. There's $7 down there. So we took in 10 on one side, taking 7 on the other. We then now have $17 total that we would have taken in on this trade with a 50-cent spread. $17 received is $33 that's leveraged, right? Don't forget to count in your fees. And if you're going to close early, you're going to want to counter in, add in your dollar, because I usually close those at $1, right? So or you can let it expire worthless. You can let it expire worthless after that. Last one, we're going to look at XLU. XLU. This is what utilities. XLU. Oh, coming out of a support area. Coming into a gap. Oh, come on. The top of that gap is going to provide resistance. So 62 would be the top and 59 would be the bottom. That puts you right in the zone too. You see those two. Let's go look and see what kind of monies. Tanya, what did you do on XLU? If we're looking below us, I see 60, 59.5, 60. 60 would be below, and if we were going above, I would go with 62. 59.5 and 62. 59.5, 60. That one's paying $7. And then, what did I say, 62? Did I say 62.5, I think? Make sure. I would go with 62. That's paying $11. Actually, the call credit spread is probably the one I would do. It depends. I wouldn't say I would do that one first. The trend is kind of a little upwards right now. But the two of them together, $11 on this side, $7 on the other side, you're going to get $18 out off of your 50-cent spread. If you have those smaller ones where you're not getting a whole lot of premiums, but you don't have to leverage that much, you really want to try to get both sides, because that's going to net you more profits for your collateral, right? I get a little more nervous when we get to the 2.5s and the 5 spreads, because then I'm thinking, if it goes through all this, there's a 250 going at once. If you're on a 50-cent spread, it goes through, like, well, that's $50 gone, but you can spend $50 at Chick-fil-A. It's really stupid that you can spend $50 at Chick-fil-A, but you really can. You really can. Okay, let's check out XSP to see SPX to see if we can look at XSP real quick too. I haven't talked about them in a minute. Let's talk about them and see if we see a trade we might be able to get in on. See if we got a breakout going, because we don't trade it till we see some breakout happening. Boom, 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 boom. 15 minutes. Still haven't broken out of our 15-minute chart. So if this candle here tried to come out, it may indicate that it's going to try. It's a long wick, so it's definitely going to try to push. When we're reading candles, remember all the stuff we learn, we bring it all back together. And we learn candlesticks. And this long wick right here is like a rocket going up. Pew! It could propel this on upwards. So I'm not saying it's going up there. I'm just saying the possibility based on this candlestick is there. Okay. And now it's starting to move out of the zone. That's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to guess what the market's going to do because y'all already know the market will do what it will do. Okay. Let's see if we see some XSP. I don't know if anybody's trading XSP in this community. I know we have some people in our community that do. Zero DTE Monties. Trade it for the day. Zero DTE Monties. Let me see what I see on the money. XSP. This is supposed to be XSP. What is XSP money? Looking for today, zero DTE. If you're going to do zero DTE, you need to have a plan. You need to have a plan, right? We've got the SPX playbook that will work with you with SPX and XSP. It actually works for both. We also have the SPX for daily and weekly profits. That's also going to help you with XSP. There's a whole section in there for XSP, which is, and the reason we use XSP is because it's a one spread and we don't have to put as much money on it. SPX is a $500 a pop. XSP is $100 of leverage. Okay. What I see though is 488 as an 81%. 488, that's about good because we had a 1.5 here. Change this to vertical. 488 is paying $11. Right? I would still, because it's early, I would still recommend that if you're going to trade XSP, that you also still investigate that PDT hack. The PDT hack. I did a video on YouTube. It came out last week on the PDT hack, on actually what you're doing. So you can go and check out. Actually, there's more than one video. I have another one on there called Make Unlimited Day Trades or something like that. It says Make Unlimited Day Trades. It's the same, something very similar. Okay, I think that one may add more explanation in it. Cooley High. Yes, Lady T says she's more comfortable with $50, but she needs to get comfortable with $250. I agree because I've done like $250 on Amazon and Google is only a one spread, but I think Google's high enough now to be $250 also. But I can do some of those, and I'm like, okay, I can do $250 on these. The comfort level has come with trading them more often and being getting comfortable with the zones and just doing the technical analysis and all that good stuff. That's made me more comfortable with it. I mentioned the small account challenge is starting next week. So if you're going to join on with us, you definitely want to go ahead and join the small account challenge. You can head to my website, Educator2Trader.com. It's the first icon. You can get registered. Good morning, Lorenzo. How you doing? Come on and hang out. So, okay, I'm reminding us yet again, I will say it till we're blue in the face. And I'm not blue. I'm not going to be blue, so I'm just going to keep saying it. 1 to 2 strategies. 1 to 2. 1 to 2. Do not try to be everything in this market. It's too much. It's too much. Pick 1 to 2 strategies. Lean in, perfect them, get very comfortable, educate yourself, focus on fundamentals, and trade with a trading plan. Trade with a trading plan. E2T membership is always open. We do the morning calls, which is here, weekly training calls. This week we're having Q&A. This week we're going to just answer the questions of the people. And then the monthly coaching call is usually on the first Saturday of the month. This month we've been doing Chart Your Way to 100K, and we're wrapping that up this coming Saturday. We're going to be wrapping that up Saturday with strategies or how to chart for specific strategies. That's what we're doing this coming Saturday. Okay. I think we have gotten to where we wanted to go. I wanted to make sure that I didn't put anything up. No banners were running this morning. What's wrong with me? I think I was late. So we didn't have any banners running. I want to, I don't see it. So we'll keep it moving. We'll just keep it moving. Okay, but you can always go to SPX Playbook.net and get the SPX ebook for zero DTE. trading for $27. SPXplaybook.net if you don't have that already. That also gives you access to a Telegram group that I have where the people who are trading SPX using the playbook are trading together. So you can, that gives you a community that help you learn the strategy and trade the strategy. And me and my team are there to help as well. Okay, so let's do our trader's declaration. Just gonna look real quick to see if what's his name has popped out of that zone. SPX. I don't know if it has. Let me see if I'm going to the 15-minute candle. Nope, it hit the top of the zone and dropped back down. Yep, it hit the top and dropped back down. So it's still inside the zone. Let's do our declaration. I declare I'm a great trader. I declare I'm a successful trader. I declare I am a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses. My account's growing more and more each week. I am a wise and knowledgeable trader. I always make smart and lucrative decisions for my portfolios. I declare I am a level-headed trader who does not trade my emotions. Lord, is it you who gives us the power to get wealth? You teach our hands to war with the purpose of establishing your kingdom. Help us today to trade wisely and strategically in order to fulfill this purpose. Give us more than enough so we can have what we need and enough to be a blessing to others. In Jesus' name, amen, amen. Okay, anybody got anything else they want to add? Anybody want to add something to the mix? If not, I'm going to bid you all a fond farewell and remind you that we do two things in this community every single day. We stay green and we get this money. All right, I'll talk to you all later. See you, everyone. Bye-bye.